Hi, this is Oopsy Daisy. I'm Ashley,
And I am Vanessa.
and this is just another podcast. But today, instead of talking about another episode, we're just going to talk about mainly hockey related stuff, just especially because Derek does play hockey on the show and he's supposed to be really good. Also, hockey season just started.
And we were both hockey fans, so
Yes, how's the Lightning doing?
we don't talk about it. They're 1-1.
You guys only played 2 games?
Yeah, yesterday was their second game. I was so mad.
We've played 4.
Yeah, I literally was looking at the schedule because they played last Saturday was their first game of the season, and they played yesterday, which was Thursday, and that was their second game. So I was like, fuck. Let's go play. And they don't play again till Saturday, so I'm like, come on.
Jeez, I feel like we play like every day.
Yeah, no, then they don't play again until Tuesday. What is this?
No, because the Flyers won their first game, and it was like 5-2.
Yeah.
But then they lost the next 2 games.
I'm looking right now. They're
And then, I think yesterday, or like the day before, they won like 7-2 or 3, something like that.
Let's see. Classic Flyers in 19th place. Where's Tampa in this?
I don't know.
Let's look. Oh, well, they're in 25th, but that's because they played 2 games.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, we're hockey fans, so we thought, hey.
We wrote a story.
Oh, you did? We did. And you should all go read it.
It's called On the Defense.
It's great.
What's your name? Because it's under you.
Oh, is it under my? Then it. Oh my god, what is it? I know how to pronounce it. I just don't know how to write it. I need to actually write it out to know how to write it. Just a second. So. Okay, yeah. So it's AEDUCAAN.
How do you pronounce that?
Idukin.
Idukin.
Idukin writes. That's what it is. And that's from a video game, but we're not going into that.
It's on Fanfiction, and our archive is of our own.
We'll post a link.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description if you're watching this or on YouTube.
I love how we say watching, and it's something you listen to, and I'm like, yep, that's us.
Well, to be fair, on YouTube, I do provide visual aids.
It's true. A lot of visual aids.
Though on this one, I don't know how many visual aids I'm going to be posting because...
Just post pictures of horrible stats of me being in 25th place. A picture of the standings.
Photoshop picture of Daisy, on skates.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, we always say that Derek, he got into Queens on, a hockey scholarship, most likely.
Yeah.
So that means he's already pretty good. He's gotten a scholarship for it. And so where do you think he'd be, because most likely after his senior year, if he does stay as one of the top people, he's going to get drafted.
Yeah.
If he is actually as great as he claims he is.
Yeah, and I did the math for this. I actually had to, I had to text you and be like, what year did they graduate high school? What year would they have graduated university?
So we went off the assumption that they graduated in 2009 because that's when their
the show stopped, right?
That's when the show stopped.
Yeah.
Disregarding Vacation with Derek, which came out in 2010.
Yeah. Because
it doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
So what are the teams that he could have gotten drafted to?
So depending if he was as good as he thinks he is, then I think we concluded that he would be in the top 3 for the draft, right?
Mm-hmm. Makes sense if people actually want him.
Yeah, so if he's as good as everyone thinks he is, he would have gone in the top 3, which the top 3 for the year that we predicted, which was 2013 draft, he was either first round pick that would have gone to Colorado, second round to Florida, or third overall. I'm stupid. First round, third overall to Tampa Bay, which I've already confirmed that he has been drafted by Tampa Bay. He is a Tampa Bay Lightning, and nothing's going to change that for me. So I don't care. If you guys are going to write fics from now on, he's drafted to Tampa, okay? That's all I'm saying.
There's 2, because most likely, if he is as good as he says, he's going to be drafted really quickly. So that's why we're saying that he would be going to one of these three teams. I wouldn't think he would want to go to Colorado.
Well, he doesn't have a choice.
Well, no. I'm just saying, like, I feel like he would like Florida.
He would, I think.
Two out of three odds are that he's going to Florida somewhere.
Yeah. And I think it's more if it's his flashy personality.
Mm-hmm. But, like, come on. Derek on the beach and just, like, you know, exactly. That just seems like his thing.
In Miami or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, if he's playing in Tampa Bay, I mean, they still have beaches, but just not Miami.
I don't know.
That's a little bit farther down.
I'm Canadian. Florida is Miami to me. I'm sorry. I don't know.
I currently live in Florida, so I understand. I live near the Tampa Bay area, so.
So you're going to games, right? You're going to represent.
No.
Dare you?
Because, like, I don't even know where the stadium is, and, like, I'd never driven around there before, so.
It's the Amalie Arena. God. Let me Google it for you. Let me Google map it for you.
I'll wait until the Flyers come in town.
No, that's just stupid.
I mean, most likely, it's not even an hour away from my house.
From my house, it would take me 50-hour drive to get there. So, packing my bags. Okay, so where was he drafted to? Like, where are you thinking? I told you I'm confirmed that he is going to be with Tampa. But do you think...
Because I don't think he would be one of the first two picks. Because I feel like there's going to be someone like a more known, like, bigger hockey college that they're going to want to go for.
Oh, yeah, that's usually the States.
But then, like, you hear, like, ooh, this, like, hot shot from Queens.
Yeah, because usually...
Like, he's still a contender in, like, the first round. So, yeah, I do agree with you that Tampa Bay makes more sense.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, as you were saying, like, Queens is not a big hockey school kind of thing. It makes sense because when you look at it in real life perspective, it's, like, always Michigan or Boston or something. That's where they're going for. It's, like, state schools.
Because really, like, if he does really well in Queens, like, you don't know necessarily if that translates well to NHL.
Yeah.
Because it's not a huge hockey school.
And we're also have to think that there are the junior teams that they go from a lot more than a university pick.
Yeah. But, it's very fictional. Derek is amazing.
Yeah. So, I like to think he'd probably go, like, top 10. Right?
Yeah, but we'll just stick with these three right now. But we'll go with Tampa Bay.
Yes.
I think he would look good in that uniform.
The blue is very nice.
Yeah, the blue. I see it everywhere, so. When I go to the mall, they have these huge, like, banners of, like, the Tampa Bay guys.
I approve.
We have an ice rink in one of my malls, so that, like, they have it right there.
Good.
Yeah.
What makes me laugh, though, is when Tampa lost yesterday, I texted you saying, where was Derek Venturi?
What's the what?
I was like, where was Derek Venturi? Why didn't he score?
Did they trade him away by now?
No, I don't think so. I mean, they did, like, if real life, it was Jonathan Drouin was the one they drafted, and he's already traded to Montreal, so it's possible. It's 100% possible.
Eventually, he just, like, gets himself to, like, play for the Leafs.
Maybe.
One blue for another blue.
Yeah.
So, what position... Because I feel like in the way he is, because most likely he's the captain of his teams, and, like, usually captains, for the most part, are usually, like, centers.
Yeah, for the most part, and that's where I was thinking that he was probably a centerman.
If not, what do you think he would be? Not a goalie.
Not a goalie, no.
He's too much of a hot shot to be a goalie.
Yeah, no. Like, I'm convinced he's most likely a center.
Yeah.
Just the way he is, but at the same time, I'm like, maybe not, but I'm fully convinced that he's a centerman.
If you don't know what a center is, it's just basically the guy who basically does the
The face-offs.
And that's where they drop the puck and the two teams go at it to try to see who gets the puck first, kind of.
Yeah, so
he would be doing that. But yeah, I think that's, it just seems generic, but it's like, it's the way he is, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, all the attention's on him on like every face-off, right?
Mm-hmm.
So center of attention. I feel like it would be good.
So my next thing is that, okay, so Derek gets drafted. He goes to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Dasey isn't together at this point when he gets drafted, how do you think that would affect them? Because he's like not only in another country, but like on the other side of the continent.
They're still in the same time zone. It's not that bad.
I mean, yeah, they're in the same time zone, but still, they're like over 1,000 miles away from each other.
As long as they're in the same time zone.
I mean, FaceTime and stuff is easy at that point, but
exactly, that was my argument. It was like, they're in the same time zone.
The reason why me and Vanessa take forever to do things is because she lives in Vancouver, which is 3 hours back from my time.
Well, we'll say Vancouver. It's close enough, but yeah.
Well, that's what I'm not going to say exactly.
That's my NHL team.
Vanessa lives in.
If I had an NHL team, like if I followed the one I was closest to, it would be Vancouver. But they're poop.
You live in British Columbia.
Yeah, they're poop, but they still beat my team yesterday.
They still beat them.
They're still poop though. But yeah, so that's why it's difficult. We're on the other side. We're in different countries.
Yeah.
Other side of said countries. So time difference. So that's fun.
Because like we said, Derek, let's say they're not together. And Derek, I think he's gonna go to the beach all the time. He's gonna like pick up ladies and everything at the beach and all this other shit. Like, I'm a hockey player.
Yeah, he's just gonna be like stud.
I think like obviously he'd miss his family.
Mm-hmm.
He'd miss Casey. Like, the novelty of it would wear off quickly, I think, for him.
Probably.
Because there's one fic that I had just started reading this morning, because I looked up Life with Derek fanfiction for, like, hockey fanfiction. This one called LA Kings.
I've never read that one.
Well, it's relatively new. They actually just posted the 3rd chapter on fanfiction.
Okay.
I didn't read that one, though. I only read the 2 chapters. But he gets drafted by the LA Kings in that.
No, really? The title didn't give that away? I mean, what? This is a surprise.
He's actually, he's living in Dallas, but...
Oh, yeah, okay. I got you.
But anyway, so he got drafted by the LA Kings, and so he's in Los Angeles. And Casey's still in, Toronto. So basically, it's weird in a way because, like, they're together but not at all. Mm-hmm. Like, they still, like, kind of function as a couple when they're together, but they're not together.
So they're not officially together, just act like they are.
Yes.
Okay.
And they kind of know it, but they don't, like, establish it, I guess.
They just don't, they're like, we don't need to put a label on things.
Right, without really even saying that. Okay. So basically, Derek, from the time he's out there, he's missing Casey. Mm-hmm. And so he's sending her, like, care packages. Like, of course, the first one was, like, his gear and, like, all this, like which he totally would do.
It's true, he would. He'd basically, like, send her jerseys with his name and number on it. And everything. Or, like, you know how they have, like, the t-shirt jerseys that has the logo and the player name? Excuse me. The player name on the back? He'd send a shit ton of that, I think. Oh, yeah,
he would send all of that stuff to, like, everyone in his family, but especially Casey.
Oh, yeah.
Because he would just be like, haha, look, my name's everywhere, but also, like, Casey would totally wear them around the house.
I think she would, yeah.
Not necessarily outside, but she would wear them around the house.
Well, here's the thing. Is she, like, on her own this time? Like, is she living in her own
Yeah, I think
place?
she's living in an apartment by herself.
Okay. So yeah, she would totally rock that at home, so no one would know.
Mm-hmm. So then, so he's missing her, obviously, and so he's spoiling her from afar. Like, he's just constantly sending her stuff, and, when she's sick, he sends, like, soup to her house. I don't know. But anyway, um, um, but then eventually he flies her out, and so it's just, like, I think something similar like that would happen if, he ended up getting drafted somewhere relatively far.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he would just come to the point where it's just like, hey, you're gonna stay here for like a weekend or a week or so because you need to be here.
Yeah. He would always fly her down, I feel like.
Yeah.
If he's as good as he is, he'd get a huge contract and just constantly waste his money flying her down.
Constantly just like flying back and forth.
Yeah, it's like, where's all your money? Air miles.
You might as well live on a plane.
Yeah. Buy a fucking private jet because it's going to be cheaper than actually buying a ticket and going
There's
back
a
and
rookie.
forth.
I don't know how much he's actually getting.
Oh, yeah. No, not at all. I'm saying later on in his career, you know?
But I think if they were together when he gets drafted, whether people know it or not,
you think she'll go with him?
I would. Because it depends if she has anything lined up after university. Because knowing Casey, she might. But knowing that he's going to go into the draft, she might hold back, not knowing where Derek will go.
At the same time, it also depends on which way her employment has gone, right? Because we talked about how there's so many different ones she is. She's like either like a lawyer or she's a doctor. And depending on that, those two would do really well in LA.
Yeah.
Those would do good in LA.
I mean, they do pretty good, like, anywhere. Like, oh my god, like, I think she would do perfect in, like, this area for Florida. Because, or maybe not, but literally, when you are driving down the road, literally all, like, you know how most billboards have, like, entertainment stuff, and, like...
Is it literally like, are you in a car crash? Call me!
No, it's like, exactly. Like, literally, more than half of them are some type of lawyer. Accident lawyer, elderly lawyer, women, like... justice lawyer. Like, it's just like
that's it.
Lawyer galore down here.
Woman justice lawyer. That's Casey right there.
Exactly, yeah. So, I think she would do well with that. I mean, also, there's a lot of old people down here. So,
I mean, it's a retirement
always need
state.
the old people doctors.
I just realized something. Like, Florida is, like, the retirement state, is it not?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, like, where I live in BC, it's the retirement, like, places. We're connected.
It's terrible because there's so many slow drivers.
Oh, God.
And then you go around them and then, like, they're old people, so...
That's how you know. You're like, someone's super slow. You're like, this person's old, I just know it. And then you look and you see, like, a frail, like, 90-year-old driving. They have double vision.
Exactly. And then some of them are not, like, they don't live down here full time. Like, they just come down during the winter months.
You know they're rich when they can, like, peace out for the winter.
Alright, so, like, I think if he got drafted, like, she would know that he was getting drafted. Like, well before... the end of the year, unless she got a really good offer to go to some, like, really great, prestigious, like, law firm or hospital.
Do you think her dad would try to get her to work at his law firm?
I mean, I could see him offering it, but I don't know if she would.
I mean, if he was drafted to the Rangers, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I think he's in New York.
Which, if you read Changing on the Fly, he gets drafted by... I don't know if he gets drafted by the Rangers, but he plays for the Rangers in that fic.
That's the New York Rangers, if you don't know.
Yeah. I remember liking that story, but I never finished it. And I can't remember anything about it because it's been so long. But they did eventually complete it. What?
Wasn't she a writer and she got put onto, like, a sports writer thing? Is that it?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I remember him being on the Rangers, and then there was a new reporter that was put onto it. Like, she's not even, like, a sports reporter, but her boss puts her there because, like, the normal one's out or something, and then shit goes down.
That might be it.
I'm gonna check right now.
I literally haven't read it in so long. I was gonna try to read it today, but it's 22 chapters long, and...
Oh, God.
I didn't have time to read 22 chapters. I was at work.
Of course you did.
I was at work.
That's an excuse. I would have read. Actually, I do read out. I'll be like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and I'll just sit there and read. I'll be like, oh, 5 minutes have passed. Time to go back to work. No one snitch on me. Snitches get stitches. Okay, continue. I'm gonna skim.
So in that story, he's on the Rangers. He plays for the Rangers. I always like seeing why people put them in certain places. And I don't know if it's just maybe because they live there, so that's like their state. That's what they do. But anyway, like even when I wrote story, like I would never put him on the Flyers because that just doesn't seem realistic to me. He doesn't seem like someone he would play on for the Flyers.
They're all horrible. I'm not. I just can't with the Flyers. The Broad Street Bullies. It doesn't work. I'm sorry.
It did in like the 70s when they made that up. They were bullies. They were smashing people left and right.
Oh yeah, I just don't see it. And orange does not look well with him. I'm just saying.
Orange is fabulous.
No, it's not. I mean, it brings out my eyes.
Orange.
But we're not talking
it brings
about
out
me.
your eye.
We're not talking about me.
Orange is the new black. And it just so happens that our other color is black.
It's so bad. Stop. Yeah, she's a writer for, that's the one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember that because I remember, like, they're not talking for whatever reason.
Yeah, and
And
then
so this brings her back into his life.
Yeah.
Now, if you did read our fanfiction on the defense, part of what it is that Derek's at this practice for, like, a junior hockey league, is it?
Yeah, it's like his high school team got to practice with a junior team.
Which they're technically, on a higher level than
oh yeah,
high school.
100%.
So this is supposed to be like an honor, and like Derek absolutely hates them. And our headcanon is that he just didn't get on the team for whatever reason.
He didn't make it, so he hates junior teams and he thinks they're spoiled.
Like, let's just say, like, his first year, he absolutely sucked.
Yeah.
So he just didn't get on the team, but then that motivated him to be as good of a player as he is.
Yeah.
That's what I think in my head.
Yeah, so the way it is, to get on a junior team, you're drafted, it's like a midget draft, so it's like 15, 16 years old, and then you're on the team. So he didn't make that, and he's mad about it.
Yeah. So he kind of hates it, but all of a sudden, you just see this, like, certain player on the ice.
The mad flow.
Apparently has the mad flow, according to Vanessa. And this player is really, really good. Like, so much that even, like, Derek quietly admits that, like, that kid's good, And so, eventually, they get this practice with him, and they're playing against them. And Derek finds out that talented player is Casey.
Yeah!
So, we have this thing where Casey plays hockey, and she just, like, hides it from Derek.
She hides it from the whole Venturi family.
Yeah, and basically only her mom and her sister know that she does it. And I think we had it that, like, she did it because, like, that's the only thing she did with her father.
Yeah, so if I remember correctly, they got to go to a game, and they were watching it, and Derek was going on about, isn't dancing season over? And he was trying to ask Sam, because Casey's always away at dancing practice, but it was actually the front for hockey. She's on the hockey practice or something. And then it turns out, like, this defenseman was, like, so hardcore. Like, that's what the role she played in this story. And they're like, wow, that guy's really good with the mad flow. And if you don't know mad flow, it's just long hair. It's slang. It's hockey slang.
But obviously it's, Casey's long hair because she has long hair.
But since they think it's a guy, it's mad flow.
Which, I mean, it makes sense because if you watch professional hockey, a lot of these guys have, like
long ass hair.
Long hair. So, I mean, like, it's not like it's uncommon.
Yeah.
So, obviously, Casey is not going to be in the NHL.
Rude.
Yeah. But there has been one woman in the NHL. That was back in 1992. And she actually played one, like, preseason game for the Tampa Bay Lightning, which is Vanessa's team.
Yeah!
What's her name? Because I'm going to butcher it.
Okay, so I will say it because it's a French name, and Ashley can't speak French. So
I can barely speak English. Okay?
I mean, same. But yeah, so it's Manon Réaume. And
yeah, I would not have said that.
So she was a goalie for Tampa Bay.
I'd be like Manon.
Manon! Manon Ryomi.
Probably like Ryumi.
But no, like, I'm very happy that she got to play in the NHL. And it's just a big step for women, but it was seen as a huge...
That was 26 years ago, though.
Yeah.
And nothing's been done since.
Yeah, it was a huge PR thing. A lot of people were like, let's get, like, a lot of...
And she was a goalie, so...
That makes me even more happy, because I played goalie in hockey as well.
Yeah. So I think that kind of segues into what position do you think Casey plays?
Okay.
Because I don't know if she'd be a center.
No, I don't think she'd be Here's the thing. Like, in stories, you can make her do anything. She can be good enough to do anything.
Right, yeah.
But if you're being realistic, there's only one position, and that's probably goalie. Because she's not going to get hit by someone constantly. So she has a better chance of succeeding at that role.
I can't see her being goalie, though, either.
But see, I've written 2 stories. Like, I've written on the defense, and I've written another one. I don't know if it's still alive or not. It might have been deleted. I don't remember. But she was a goalie as well. And yeah, she was a goalie as well. But then she switched schools and went try out for a different team and made the team there. And it was like a rival team for Derek's school. It's not the Hamilton Hoots. I can tell you that.
Forgot about that.
I forget mine was like. Oh, what was mine? Oh, mine was, I made up a school, and it was the Kilpatrick Knights. That's it. That was the team name.
I love Hamilton Hoots, though.
I know, I love it too. But yeah,
well, the reason why I picked Hamilton is because that's where Ashley's from.
Okay, makes
She's
sense.
from Hamilton. And then Hoots just
unfortunate.
made sense, because, it's alliteration, people.
Hoots? For what? Because the Hooters? Or like...
No, alliteration. Hamilton Hoots. For owls.
I'm just saying. Alliteration Hooters. But no, so what was it? So I wrote her as a goalie in that, but here's something you don't know. I'm going to tell you. It's a surprise thing. Her brothers are goalies as well, right? Like, Ashley's
I think
brothers.
that is the one, yeah.
They're like, no, I think both of them are. I think I've seen pictures of both of them, like, as goalies, yeah. So I'm like, there's that connection as well, so it makes sense.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And I like to play a lot of sports games, and I made a goalie named Casey McDonald. And fun fact, she was drafted to Tampa Bay Lightning.
What happened?
She was drafted to the Tampa Bay Lightning as well.
Oh,
But then she was traded to Boston, so I was like, fuck. I was like, that's not fun.
Let's see. Brett Leggett. I can't find anything on her friggin' brothers.
But they're both goalies. I saw pictures.
Yeah, he has a goalie icon, but what's their other brothers' names?
I don't know.
I know Brett. That's the only one I know.
I know he was on Team Canada for the roller hockey tournament. He was the goalie for that. I remember that. And that was a few years ago, and I think they actually had TSN coverage on that.
Her husband's a center, though.
Yeah.
Her husband plays hockey.
See, it's full circle here.
Yeah, and
full circle.
That's the reason why if you pay attention, if you follow Ashley on any social media, you'll realize that she's always in Germany, and that's because he plays for the Germany team.
Yes, he plays for the Tigers. I can't pronounce the name. Where it is, but it's some German name, as you can assume.
She has a couple brothers, but I can only see Brett.
I don't know. Let's Google Brett hockey.
Okay, there's Bram, Brett, Rod, and Todd.
I think it's Bram.
Bram. Wikipedia doesn't have any of them listed. That's just really rude.
Bram Leggett. Continue. Next topic.
So if she could be on a NHL team, who do you think she would play for?
Okay, well, 100% she's not going to be drafted first at
No.
all. She's like
But
8 million rounds
they
later.
might want to draft her though, just for the novelty of like, oh, we're progressive.
That and the PR stunt.
Mm-hmm. Not saying she'd be one of the first, but she'd be like in the draft.
I think she'd be in the draft, but she'd probably be like 5 rounds later.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, and I think it's going to be a team that needs the PR, so it's going to be like a horrible team.
Well, not necessarily a horrible team, but just like a team no one like sees. Because that doesn't necessarily correlate.
Yeah, like all I'm thinking right now is either it's going to be like the Islanders.
You know what?
Or like
the Devils.
I was gonna say like the Hurricanes or something.
You know, because I lived in like the Devils is generally it's a New Jersey team.
New Jersey team, yeah.
But most people up in northern New Jersey, they like one of the New York teams because they're so close to New York.
Mm-hmm.
And people in the South Jersey, they root, a lot of them root for Philadelphia because they're right across like the river.
Yeah. You know what it is?
So, like, I barely ever meet someone who likes the Devils.
My sister's a Devils fan.
You know what? That says a lot about her.
Right? And she only liked them because of the Martin Brodeur.
The what? Oh.
Martin Brodeur. And now that he's retired and he got traded away, she's like, fuck the Devils!
That's
hate
my
them.
sister with the New York Giants. She only likes them because Eli Manning is on the team.
Another team. This is it. This is the one. She would 100% be drafted to the Buffalo Sabres.
Oh, yeah. Who goes to Sabres games?
No one.
That's like the. I feel bad for Buffalo because they're always that forgotten New York team.
I know, and that's why she would be drafted to the Buffalo Sabres. That's what I'm making the call on it now.
Could you imagine her like having the jersey and everything, and like having that huge ass buffalo on her shirt?
Yeah, I see it though. I see it.
And Derek just constantly teases her, like, "How's the Buffaloes?
How's the Sabres? Weren't they like last in the league last year?
I don't know. I don't pay attention.
I was just saying that last time they were good is when they had like Ryan Miller as their goalie. That was like back in 2006.
Yeah, that was like 10 years ago. So
yeah. Oh god. But yeah, that's it. Derek is Tampa Bay. Casey's drafted to the Buffalo Sabres.
That's really sad. Then they only get to see each other when they fight.
Yeah, when they play against each other, and then on the off season.
Yeah. It's like, ooh, there's a romance blossoming between the Tampa Bay center and the girl player on the Sabres.
The Sabres goalie? Someone write this right now. I need to read this. It's a new take on the star-crossed lovers.
Does Tampa have like a rivalry?
It's probably with Florida Panthers.
Oh, really? That's lame.
Let me Google. Okay, this one is about through fights, like the amount of fights they've had. Florida would be first.
You know what? The Panthers can't even pick a city, okay?
True. They're just a state.
They try to monopolize the whole state.
Yeah. So it goes Panthers, Islanders, Devils, Flyers, and then Senators. That's like the top 5 teams they fought the most with. Buffalo Sabres is 10th.
They would make the rivalry so intense.
Oh, they would.
Because they like go at each other's throats, and then people would get so confused on the off season because then they hang out. And people don't know they're like step siblings. So they're like, why the hell are these people hanging out?
Yeah, here it is. I went on the Tampa Bay Lightning subreddit, and apparently it is the Panthers, the Caps, and the Flyers.
Man, they really put the Flyers up there.
It's because the Flyers are poop.
I don't agree.
Anyway. I'm sure you don't. All right. Now, hockey fix. All right. So we already talked about the one you and I wrote.
Yeah. Which
100% go read. It's stellar. And we really need to put an extra chapter on there. People cry about
But I just read one today called Of Luck in Hockey, which I read before.
Is this a high school one?
Yeah, they're in high school.
Okay.
So basically, no one is going to Derek's game
Okay.
because they're all busy. So Casey's like, I'll go because I don't have anything to do. And then at first he's really reluctant about it, but eventually he's like, okay, whatever. So he takes
Can we
her, but
just...
apparently he didn't say anything to his family, but apparently there's going to be agents at this game. So he's
Oh.
really nervous about it. So he wanted people there, but he didn't like express it, like, you know? So Casey's there and he tells her this. Um, but, you know, he gives her his practice jersey to wear because it's a good luck charm for someone to
But
wear
why
it.
would it be the practice jersey? Because that has no affiliation with the team, right?
I don't know.
I feel like usually if you're gonna wear someone's jersey, you're wearing the opposite jersey. Like if they're playing away, you're wearing their home jersey.
I don't know.
And it kind
This
of...
story has her wearing his practice jersey, okay?
Well, this person is wrong. Delusional pumpkin.
That's your saying.
You're wrong.
I love their name though, their pen name.
It's a good.
But so and then Casey, after hearing him say like, oh, you know, agents are gonna be there and everything, scouts, she gives him a maple leaf like necklace, kind of. There's like a charm with the maple leaf on it. What?
I just get that, like, for some reason it just makes me think of the movie Grease. Do you remember when they go to they do the race at the end and that chick gives that dude a charm? Do you remember that scene?
Yeah.
And all I can think is, what's she giving him? A lock of hair from her chest?
Well, anyway, so she gives Derek this this charm, and of course he's like, "Is this a maple leaf?" And then she says that she used to watch hockey games with her dad. That's how they used to
Aww.
bond, which kind of goes with
Aww.
what we had.
What we wrote.
And he always promised to teach Casey how to play hockey, and then also take her to a game. But that never ended up happening because that's when her mom and dad started fighting.
That's sad.
Yeah, it is. But so after he obviously wins the game with the hat trick.
Okay, let's talk about this real quick. I get very upset when people write stories.
Well, apparently this was his first hat trick, okay?
Okay, that's not going to be a thing. If he's a star player and he's playing at these low levels kind of thing, it's going to happen more than once.
Well,
but okay, do you notice how a lot of hockey stories, the scores are absolutely ridiculous?
Yes, and I used to get annoyed at that too. Like, some of the times it's like really, like, it never goes over, like, it's rare if it goes over, like, 6. Or even 5.
Yeah, and that's
more recently it's been starting
teams.
to get a little bit more chaotic.
That's between both teams, not one team getting 6 goals. That's like 3 goals per team, and that's usually how high it goes.
Yeah, it usually doesn't get more than 4, and then, but like I said, with the Flyers games this season, they've all, like, whether they scored 5 goals or the other team scored 5 goals, this whole like season so far for the last 4 games, someone scored at least 5 goals.
That's horrible goaltending.
Well, I mean, it's not supposed to happen very often, but I've been seeing it happen a lot more often.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I read a story where they're like, the game ended, Derek scored 6 goals, and I was like, no!
Was there anyone in the net?
Apparently not. I was like, okay. I may have done that when I was like 12 and the goaltending's horrible, but like not at that level, no. So hard pass.
So that's a little nitpick that when we're reading hockey stories, it's like,
please be realistic.
It was 14-6. Like, no, it wasn't.
no, it was not.
That's a football like stat. Like, that's a football game.
That's a football score. Not when someone says, Derek scored 8 goals, and I'm like, okay, no, he did not. Learn how hockey works, please.
But yeah, so that's, and then eventually after his game, he takes Casey and he teaches her how to, like, play hockey.
Now, is this a good written fic? Just because
I
I'm a snob and I kind of want to read this now.
I like it. I mean, the ending's kind of rushed just because, like, after he's done teaching her, obviously they fall onto the ice.
Oh, no!
And then he kisses her, and then she freaks out. And
Oh,
then, like, within a
God.
couple paragraphs, like, she's like, just kiss me. And then it's just like, that's it, really.
That's
But
just
I've read it
stupid.
before, and I've read it a couple times before, and I do like it.
Oh, it's from 2007. This is some vintage.
Yeah, a lot of vintage and the Daisy fandom.
Okay, this is my favorite thing. Disclaimer. I own nothing. Not at all. Not even Nickelback. The Toronto Maple Leafs are High School Musical. Oh my god! What story is this? Oh my god! Nickelback is a High School Musical. Okay. Return to main menu.
Yeah. So, and again, when we always talk about hockey fics, my favorite of all time is Hockey Girls.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I've read
I don't
that
even
so
think there's
many
that
times.
much hockey, but I just love that fic.
Yeah, isn't that the one where everyone's convinced Derek's dating Casey,
Yeah,
and
and
then
then he
like there's
lets
that
them think it,
cheerleader
and
thing?
basically
Yeah.
he like lets people think he's dating Casey, and for whatever reason, Casey lets everyone think that too. Like she thinks like
Yeah.
he's trying to prank her, like you would never want to be with me, so like I'm making that torture for you,
Mhm.
kind of thing. I guess that's her like logic.
Yeah.
So she's like, well, I'm gonna get back at Derek and just go along with it. And so like Derek's completely confused of why she keeps going along with it.
Oh god, yeah. I just remember a scene like you know how he has his like stomach issues
Yeah.
before games? I remember they're like on a bus ride to like a game. For some reason, the girls are on the bus with the guys as well, which doesn't make sense
It's
to
an
me.
away game.
Yeah, but it's usually players only on a bus, not
Well,
their girlfriends too. But it's just too funny. She's like, "I made you a cucumber sandwich," and he's like, "Yeah, no thanks." And she's like, "All right, you get nauseous." I made you a cucumber sandwich. Oh my god. But I really love this story as much as I'm making fun of it with
yeah.
cucumber
But
sandwiches. I
if you
actually
like
love it.
fake dating, it's kind of like that trope, and I just love that story. I've read it like so many times.
Oh yeah, same.
So,
If you like cucumber sandwiches and fake dating stories, this is the story for you.
so okay, so I think is there anything else hockey related you really want to talk about?
Um, I mean, I remember there was one story I read. I forget what it was called, and they were married.
Married.
I want to say they were married, and Derek played for the Rangers, of course. And then it took a very dark turn. Like Casey got in an accident and then lost the babies, and I was like, oh no! And it was just a really dark story. Did you read that one?
It's not ringing any bells.
Like I just remember she had to get like a hysterectomy because it was that bad of an accident. Like some guy like T-boned her car or something.
Ooh.
And it was so sad. And I was like, I can't read this anymore. There's no happy ending here. I'm leaving.
I know, I don't like reading sad stories. I hate that.
It's like those fics. And Derek died, but actually there's 20 chapters.
Yeah. I had someone ask me like after, it's like, "Wait, the legacy didn't die the legacy. In the legacy Derek isn't dead." And I'm like, "No."
Oh,
Cuz like
three
that's what
stories.
I was thinking, like how does someone create not only one whole story, but like three stories? Cuz they're all
Yeah.
connected with Derek dead. And I'm like, there's got to be a catch. So I read it and
Yeah.
like again, I love that story. It's a Sipple. I don't know how to
I can't. It's a couple.
S E
It's a couple.
SEZCPL. That's her pen name, and I like love so many of her stories. I can't get enough. Like the Legacy series, like I said, sometimes it has a lot of like the same element, where it's like some
It does.
crime or something is going on.
Yeah.
So she actually, because I was like, you know what? I haven't read Dasey fanfiction in a while, so like I'll look at it. She made a new story for Dasey.
I know, and the way you were talking about it, and I'm like, this is Legacy. What are you talking about?
It's very similar to Legacy, so if you like Legacy, I think you'll like this one too. So basically, what I've read so far, she only has 6 chapters up, and like the last time she updated it was I think almost 2 weeks ago. It's called Code Blue, and basically this person they find this like girl dead in an alley because Derek's a lieutenant, I think, or something like that. He's a cop, which he is also in the Legacy series. He's a cop. Um, and his friend Jazz is also in the story.
Yeah, no, this is
Yeah,
Legacy,
it's
100%.
basically she's just reusing her characters. That's basically what it is. Um, but they find this girl, and she's dead in the alley, and she has a picture in like her bra, and in the picture
What?
it's like a group of girls, and Casey's one of the girls.
Is Casey circled in the picture?
No, but she's one of the girls in the picture, and there was an accident actually that Casey was a part of, and so she doesn't remember anything for this like certain period of her life. And this all happened during that period, of course. So, and then it's hinted that also Daisy was in a relationship at this period in her life too, but she doesn't remember it. So she always makes really good stories. So I definitely give that a recommendation to start reading it. 'Cause again, it's 6 chapters already, and they're like pretty lengthy chapters. So definitely give that a read and leave reviews to her and telling her that you love it and that you want more.
And yeah, say we sent you. She won't know us, but say we sent you.
Also, telling about people telling me something. Apparently, remember we were talking about like what was Casey holding in the party, that thing when she was facing against Derek, like when they were fighting in the bathroom. It's a water spigot.
A water spigot.
Yeah.
Did you like go on a huge search?
No, someone commented it on our videos. Because apparently Michael did say it in an interview, and they remembered that, so they told me.
Oh, well, kudos to you.
So thank you for that. And then also someone commented that Dimmy's name apparently is supposed to be Dimitri.
That's super Russian.
It doesn't have to be, though. I've known plenty of people who didn't match their name. People just like names.
See, I just think Dimitri and think of the movie Anastasia. And then think about John Cusack. That's it. I thought his name was like Damien or something, but that doesn't make sense now.
But Dimmy, yeah, it does make sense if it is Dimitri. Dim.
It's true. You're dim.
And then Vanessa brought something up today before the podcast. So, what are you stalking?
No, because I was reading.
What's his real name? My gosh.
I don't know his name, but I saw an article that says "What are they doing now?" kind of thing.
Oh.
And for some reason that one popped up, and I was reading for the guy who plays Edwin. It's like Daniel
Madger or something like that.
Yeah, so I was like going and saying how he posts pictures of his Tinder conversations on his Twitter. So I went through that and I wanted to see if that was true. And it was literally all these girls saying how much they love Edwin to him. Or they would sing like the intro to Life with Derek and he would sing along with them in the Tinder convo. So I was like, this is problematic.
I kind of feel bad for him in a way, just because like he's on Tinder for like obvious reasons. And then all people want to do is like reminisce, like, hey, I saw you in your awkward years.
Yeah. But he has like a hashtag for it. It's like
he
family
makes the
channel
best of
on
it.
Tinder or something. It's so bad, like, and he tries to correct them too. Like one, he like a person was like singing the song, and he's like, "It's a new school, a new house, and not a new house, a new school." And he's like, "No, wait, no, it isn't." And he was like, "I've been played."
So yeah, so that's what Edwin's been up to since the show.
Yeah, I mean, have they been up to?
I mean, Ashley, Michael, and Jordan still, and they're in things.
Oh,
I don't think
Marty's like
Marty's acting
died.
anymore. I don't think Edwin's really acting anymore at all.
I don't think so either. I think Marty like dropped off the
Well, I
face of
think
the
after Life
planet.
with Derek, she just didn't act anymore. Like, 'cause sometimes when like child actors, they grow out of that. Like that's not what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's whatever. Um, and then I think obviously the people who played the parents, they act still. So
Yeah, I mean, I saw what's her face in Murdoch
yeah.
Mysteries. Asara's Mama Coin and
And
Degrassi.
then
Well,
George, he was in Bomb Girls.
yeah, he was like a horrible father.
He was like what
Holy
was he, like
crap!
abusive pastor or something?
Yeah, he was like some super religious dude, and then they were like, actually, no, and then he died.
That was like great. He was terrible.
Oh, he was horrible. He
Did he
was like
fall off the building
talking
or
to
something?
Gotham.
Did they push him?
Betty pushed her. I think it was Betty pushed him off like a railing, and then he like fell to his death. And I was like, hallelujah.
And then they try to like so no one would find out.
Yeah, but they found out, and then Derek was there, and he was like, "Oh my god!"
And then the ghost of the dad was like haunting.
Oh yeah, it's such a
Because
good
that's
show.
how they were
Recommend
in
it.
the
Highly
same
recommend
scene
it.
for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's a very good show. I recommend it
And
for
sadly,
everyone
it
to go
ended in
watch.
season 2.
And they made a TV movie, but it was not. I needed more seasons.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
I actually recently watched the movie
Oh,
again.
really?
And it was so good. It was so good. And it's just funny. You just see Mike with a freaking mustache.
Oh, I hated
It's
that
so
thing.
funny. It's so funny.
I remember when he was growing that out, and I'm like, why?
Now you know. He was growing a mustache for a World War II story. I was about to say fic. It doesn't work.
It's basically just to show, like, time passed. I think that's basically the only reason why he actually grew it out. Just to show, like, time passed. He now has a mustache.
Oh, we forgot about a hockey fic.
What?
A story that has not been posted yet and never will be.
What story?
A World War II story.
That's not a hockey fic.
In which Derek plays for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, but we talked about this. I forgot that he was like a player. I forgot that.
Yeah, well, that's another one. It's a good story. Maybe I'll post a snippet sometime.
Yeah, whenever that is. Yeah.
For the fans. For the fans, if they ask nicely.
We actually got some people who to follow our Twitter.
I saw that. We have a few. I'm going to go on there right now and cry.
But yeah, I saw that we actually had a couple people follow us. I was like, ooh. So that's nice. If you want to talk to us there, you can. Because that's easier to talk back and forth than like on Tumblr. Because I feel bad, like, on Tumblr. Because, like, I don't want to, like, back up people's, like, dashes with, like, all the answers.
Yeah. We have another follower.
Oh.
Legit. We have more followers. Oh,
our handle is Oopsy Daisy Pod.
Yes. Yes, and I still want to contact Ashley and be like, please come on our show.
Hey, you can write whatever you want on there. You have the password.
I do, but I'm scared.
Why do you think I don't do it either? People were like, should we contact Ashley and Michael on like Twitter and ask them? But like, one, Michael's not on there that often, but when he does, he just like randomly likes stuff. And then two, like they never answer anyone. When I see like people asking either of them, I never see anyone like get an answer.
Maybe if they see that a podcast is messaging them about Daisy, they might answer.
I don't know.
We need to be brave, I think.
You can be brave.
And be like, hey, we're coming up onto our 9th, but maybe hopefully
this
for
is the
10th
8th
episode. I don't know. I know, but we're coming. It's gonna be 9 after, but yeah. I would be like, for our 10th episode, please.
The 10th episode.
Be here. Be here for us. We have a following.
You know, like what, 5 followers on Twitter?
Yeah. But we have 125 listens all time. Let me refresh that. It might have changed. 126 all-time listens.
Not
We
not
are
on
picking up
not on
steam.
YouTube. That's on like all the Spotify and
Yeah, all this is all for our podcast stuff. So like, if you go on any of like Anchor or Spotify or iTunes or Google Podcasts, that stuff. I can't see what it does on YouTube. How many do we
I'm
have on
looking.
YouTube?
I'm gonna go on there right now.
Do some quick maths for us.
Come on. My computer's so slow. What the hell? They changed things and now I don't know where they are.
How about you say a nice province name for us?
A what?
Wait. The one that you can't. Say a province that you can't pronounce right that makes me laugh.
Saskatchewan.
Okay, that's not. Are you serious? Think that's how it's pronounced?
I don't know.
It's Saskatchewan.
Whatever.
Now, how
Someone
about the
else
other
left
one,
a
the
comment
island?
laughing at me for Newfoundland.
Yes, that's the one. Newfoundland.
Shut up.
Did they really laugh?
Well, they said they basically wrote Newfoundland, and then they were like laughing or something. Like they were making fun of me too.
I love it. Continue doing that, folks.
So people are mean too.
Why are they mean to you? Other than making fun of you for Newfoundland? Did someone say something?
No. It's just I'm just saying y'all making fun of me.
I mean, I always get made fun of, so it's time for someone else to be made fun of.
So our first podcast has 100 views.
Woo!
And then we get at least 30 on each one so far. Like one has 50, another one has 81, another one has 50. So like not exact, but basically the ones I don't post on the ones I post on Anchor have lower views. Like when I post the Anchor link instead of the YouTube link, they have lower views.
Yeah, of course.
But then like when I do post the YouTube link onto Tumblr, it has more views.
It's okay because mine stay the same no matter what. I'll like go and be like click. I'm like, oh cool, we have no listens, and then like the next day it's like 10. I'm like, oh.
So
and then it's like no views.
We're slowly,
like, oh, okay.
I don't know how many people
tell
actually watch, like individual, but
yeah, but like tell your friends. If you know people who like
we have
this
at least
show,
19 people, 2 different people who watch. That's how many subscribers we have.
Yeah. So if you know people who like Dasey or Life with Derek, how about you let them know we exist?
Yeah, and then send us, comments and questions on our Twitter or on our YouTube channel or on our Tumblr, which is, the Tumblr is daisy.tumblr.com. And YouTube is just Oopsy Daisy Podcast. So, yeah.
Or Twitter.
Our Twitter is Oopsy Daisy Pod.
Just go. Or go to Anchor. It's anchor.fm/Oopsy Daisy.
Yeah, and then you can leave a voice thing.
Which no one has ever done, I have given up on everyone.
I wouldn't do that.
Given up on the world.
That's a little dramatic.
Let me see if there is one. There's probably none. Maybe only my test one. Yes, my test one is still there, so it works, people. I've tested it. You've broken my heart. It's done.
Okay, so I think that's it for today. See you next time. Bye-bye.
My bum doesn't hurt today.